Hi folks, time for another review, and this time we're going to look at a Ricochet release. This one was originally published by Virgin Games, and this game's called Rebel. So let's load it up. Here's the front cover then, and it's the usual Ricochet style cover, adapted from the original release on Virgin Games and transplanted onto this smaller cassette cover. So we've got the Rebel logo with some backwards writing on there, backwards R, and a picture of a tank being attacked by some helicopters. Not too bad really. And the spine's got the logo on as you'd expect, and some screenshots on the back which will make it look like an overhead view, probably a shoot 'em up. Guide your tank through heavily guarded compounds of the agri-industrial combine and basically blast your way to freedom. Let's take a quick look at the instructions then. Just the one headline there: escape. For soya plantation worker. How unexciting does that sound? Anyway, for soya plantation worker THX2240, obviously someone like George Lucas's earlier work there. Life in the state-controlled agricultural block seemed like virtual imprisonment. Breaking into the armory and stealing a one-person mobile crowd control vehicle, she decided to make her bid for freedom. Okay, so basically you're driving a tank, you've got to shoot stuff, collect stuff. We've got some controls there, status screen, loading instructions. That's pretty much it. We've got some foreign language instructions on the inside. And the frequently seen plea for programmers. And that's it. So here's the loading screen, and once again there's a tank on it, just like on the front cover. And a copyright there for Virgin Games on the left, and once again, for the third time in a matter of probably a week, we've got another game written by this gang of 5. So here's the title screen, lots of grey there. It's got a high score table down the right hand side, various stuff on the left hand side about the status of your tank, scrolling message across the bottom with some thank yous and other things. There's mention of Dan Dare there, I think. This is by the same people who did the Dan Dare game, and you'll soon see a couple of similarities. And that's about it really, so let's get on with the game. Oh, should mention the music, I suppose. It's pretty decent. Not spectacular, but not unspectacular either. Okay, let's get on with the game. So, you're presented with this screen. Basically, you're the tank, the red tank at the bottom there. There's lots of things flying around which you can shoot. Left and right rotate the turret of the tank, as you can see. I'm just stuck between two walls at the moment, but forwards makes the tank go forwards, and backwards makes the tank go backwards. Which is all well and good until you start trying to turn around, because, for example, if I turn to the right, you can see the tank turns around like that, but forwards still sends you forwards, and backwards still sends you backwards. And if you keep moving, you can actually steer the tank around, as you can see there, but it's really confusing because you soon lose track of which way is forwards and backwards, and which way you should be going and all that kind of stuff. So the controls are a bit weird and take a bit of getting used to. I have kind of got used to them now and can work my way around, but navigating through this city area or whatever it's supposed to be is quite strange. So the idea of the game, I'll just whiz along up to the top here to give you an idea of what we're doing. The idea of the game, each level, is to find the exit to the level. Oh, I've got hit and I've got damaged a bit, so I'm moving a bit slower now. I probably should say before we go any further that pressing run stop goes back to that screen, which was the title screen, and it tells you your status. As you can see, variable speed has now got an X next to it, which means I can't go variable speed, I can only go 1 speed. The more you get hit, the more of this stuff goes away, basically. It also shows your score, and this is the only place you see your score, which is a bit of a complaint also, because you've got no idea how well you're doing, no idea how much damage you're suffering when you're on the main sort of game screen. Anyway, so the idea of the game is to direct a laser to hit this big door here, And that's why it's a bit like Dan Dare, because it's got this reflecting lasers thing going on again, just like they had in the Dan Dare game, if you saw that last week. So this thing here's got a reflector on it, but I don't want that reflector there. So you've got three options when you're over the top of one of these things. You can rotate the reflector, as you can see there, just about. Let's just try and show it a bit more clearly. There you go. So you can rotate it one of two ways, or you can pick it up, which is what I've done. So if I press run stop again, you can see reflectors is now 1. Just mention about the sound while I'm plodding along here. Where's the sound? You know, all you've got is a few, and there goes a life. All you've got is basically a few gunshot sounds and that noise at the beginning where the jets go past. There's no music, there's no noise of tanks moving around. It's a bit crap really, the sound. Yeah, one thing I've noticed is any ground-based vehicles that you want to take on are damn near impossible. In fact, so far, in my experience, totally impossible to actually destroy. So they're best avoided. Which again is a similarity to Dan Dare, because it was better off avoiding the enemies than actually fighting them, if you recall. Let's just try and wipe this guy out now. How many shots is that I've tried now, and he's still nowhere near. I got hit by something there, I think, and I died again. Each time you die, you get the reflector things reset to a different position, and you've got to do it all again. The one there is actually in the right place for what I'm trying to do. Let's see if I can get the second one without getting killed, to show what the hell you're supposed to do with this thing. So I'm trundling along. Graphics are rather drab. Lots of grey on the screen and otherwise green. The sprites for the vehicles are pretty cool. You know, the helicopters look alright and the tank looks okay as well. Not exactly spectacular, but they do the job. This gap here is damn near impossible to get into. Right, there we go. So I'm roaming around now trying to find the other one of these reflector things, and it's not there. So let's go back this way. Really, really complicated to get around the bloody map. It's really badly designed. Alright, okay, here we go. This is what I was after. Let's try and pick this thing up before I get killed. Right, got you. Moving on. In this rather silent and drab landscape. This is where I want to place this thing. So just dump that there. Try to. Right, okay. So there's my reflectors sorted. See if I can survive. Once you've got the reflectors in the right place, you press F5 and it charges up a big laser. You might remember the big laser from Dan Dare, which if you position the reflectors right, blasts the door and moves you straight onto the next level. You don't actually even have to go through the door, it just opens the door and zaps you to the next level. And the next level is much the same, but with a hint of brown. The favourite Commodore 64 colours, brown and grey. Lots of empty space as well. It's really a rather drab game. This will be the end of me in a second here as well, because as I said, it seems to be impossible to get these things. I'm determined to try though. Just how many... Oh, got hit by something again there. Just how many shots can one ground-based vehicle take? The answer seems to be a lot. So just to check my score, it's not very impressive, and I've got no tanks left, so this will be my last life. So I'll sum up, because frankly I don't want to play the game again. It's quite a nice idea. It's totally ruined by being really dull. The sound makes it, or the lack of sound I should say, makes it really dull to play. The ground-based enemies seem to be impossible to destroy, which makes it more a game of dodging than actually shooting. And it's just not very interesting. There's the basics of an interesting game, but they've just cocked it up basically. So that's it. There's not much more to say. I'll just try and get a bit further in this level, and that will be the end of the review. Can't really say it's worth $1.99. It's totally uninspiring, and frankly, from the people that did both Action Force and Dan Dare, it's a bit of a disappointment. One thing I didn't mention, you can partially destroy the landscape as well. If you look at where I'm shooting now, you can shoot little dents out of the landscape. That's quite clever. Doesn't make it any more interesting though. I've picked up 3 of these reflectors on this level, I still haven't found the blooming laser thing, so I've got no idea where they fire from. And here's one of my favourite. Right, one last try. I've got one life left. Let's try and shoot this blue thing. No, it's got me again, and that's game over. Nice bouncy game over thing, and then you get your name in the high score table. Typical arcade style name entry screen, and you're back to the title screen, and that is that.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
2, 1, 0.